So most people have been under a veil and they don't realize it. They're under an illusion of certain things, right? But when that veil is lifted, a shovel will be gifted, and you'll fully realize that you have all the power, all the strength, all the energy, all the intelligence to dig yourself out of the hole in which you've been entrenched. When we stay inundated with the vice and the drinking and the alcohol and the drugs and the multitude of other things out here that keep us manipulated and sick and weak, we can't see it. We react to every fucking thing because we're controlled. We're under that illusion. We're under that veil. Until I really understood that I was the cause of all my effects, I was exactly where I was by all the decisions and the action or non-action that I've taken in my life. Then it started to lift. It started to lift a little more and a little more. And as I gained the clarity and started to really see things for what they are and see a lot of the traps that have been laid for people that they just think it is what it is and that's just how it's always been, then I started to be able to take some control back. And as you stay on this and you start moving towards something, you realize you have all the power to start building. You have all the power to head in the direction of your choosing instead of what's being chosen for you. This took me over a decade of backstep, forward progress, backstep, forward progress, backstep, learning, unlearning. And there's a lot of days where it seems difficult, it seems impossible. And you feel like the world's ending. And then you get up the next day and you go at it again. And you just have a knowing that something's going to click. Sooner or later, you're going to have this realization of things as they truly are. And your power as it truly is. Once you gain the clarity, and once you really are just done with living a certain way, you have to start to understand that things are going to be difficult in the beginning. And if you're not good at something in the beginning, it's probably just because you haven't put the reps in, right? It's repetition. That's how we wire our subconscious mind. But as you start to move along and you start putting more reps in and you keep the faith that this is going to work, this is going to work, this is going to work, your subconscious becomes programmed the way you're choosing it, the way you want it to be. Then the conscious becomes automatic. It's 90% subconscious, 10% conscious. So when you hear people say that the science say we use 10% of our brain, that's not true. 10% of our conscious brain we use. And the subconscious lies underneath. So every time you talk down to yourself or tell yourself it's not going to work or even think to yourself a negative thought or a negative response, you are literally breathing that into your body, into your system. It's imperative to start putting the reps in and just know that it's going to be better than what it's been. It has to be. It has to be. If you were so fed up and sick and tired and done with what I was and where I was, and you said, I just got to go in on this fully 100% and all the learning and all the backstep, all the experience, it's got to work. It's got to be better. No matter what it comes out to, it's got to be completely flipped from the way I was living. Start to lift that veil and start to step out of it and start to realize your true power and start to understand that you have far more control of this shit than you've probably been led to believe. And once you see it, you'll never unsee it. And as you make the inner the outer, that's the definition of the as within, so without. You can choose to see things the way you wish. And it takes some work to start. And it takes a second to get in this cycle. But the cycles I was in, yeah, it wasn't going to last a whole lot longer. But it's flipped now. And it's on to something new. Love you all.